Hi, it's Becky, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video. Today's video, I wanted to talk about things you shouldn't say to someone who has a chronic illness. I have done a blog post about the weirdest things that people have said to me personally, but I kind of wanted to do more of a generic video to cover off some things that you definitely should not say to someone who has a chronic illness. So the first one, and the reason that I'm wanting to do this video, is telling someone who has a chronic illness that they are a burden. We're looking at you, New York Times. Over on Instagram, Han Talks shared a post written in the New York Times, and in this post someone said, I don't really want to date this person because they have Crohn's disease. And the person who replied, the journalist who replied back to them, said, yes, you're entitled to not take on that burden, or I don't know, something like that, basically implying that people with a chronic illness such as Crohn's disease are a burden. That's the first thing you shouldn't say to someone if they've got a chronic illness, that they are a burden. Having a chronic illness is a bit of a burden, but it's a burden for the person with the chronic illness. It's not your burden, and you can deal with it. People can deal with it if you want to deal with it. So my number one thing, don't tell someone they're a burden. It's just not okay. It's not nice. Don't call someone a burden. And especially in this context, it was in regards to dating that they felt like this person would be a burden on the relationship. I can tell you from personal experience that there are many, many, many burdens that people can hide. And at least me saying that I poo a lot on a first date, you know that that's a thing, and it's not really a burden, is it? And I mean, it's good to be upfront about it. No one sits at the table on a first date and goes, just so you know, I've got quite a lot of psychological damage and emotional baggage. Is that going to be a bit of a burden for you? So yeah, just don't say to someone with a chronic illness that they're a burden. So one of my absolute favourites, and I say favourites because I know people that are saying it to me are actually coming from a really good place, but I cannot tell you how annoying it is have you tried going vegan? Have you tried just eating peanuts for a month? Have you tried eating grass? Have you tried standing on your head and eating that way? Have you maybe tried just not eating? Does that help? Have you tried yoga? Something that is a chronic illness isn't cured by yoga, or it'd be cured by yoga. It's a chronic illness because there is no cure. If we do a bit of yoga and a bit of downward dog, it's not going to help. Well, it might help, but it's not going to cure us, okay? And one in particular that gets said for Crohn's a lot is asking things about changing your diet. And I get it, because obviously Crohn's is something to do with your bowels, it is to do with your digestive system and all of that. So I get why people go to that place. And obviously, like with anything, having a better diet is going to help your body to be better equipped to deal with something. But that's the same with anything, absolutely anything. Even if you're working 4 jobs and you're a bit tired all the time, if you eat better, it's going to help you. But having the emphasis on diet with Crohn's is really, really annoying. Of course, if me just eating gluten-free would help, of course I would do that. When someone says something like that to you, have you tried this, have you tried that, it's quite insulting, because it's like, well, do you really think it's that easy? Do you really think that it is that simple that I could just change my diet and I'd feel better? And yeah, it's just insulting. So I would say, unless you know someone really well and they have asked for your opinion, don't offer them alternative methods of solving their chronic illness, because chronic illnesses are chronic illnesses because they can't be cured. Yoga is not going to help. Again, another statement that is coming from a really good place and is meant to be a compliment is, you look skinny. And for me, if someone tells me I look skinny, I get it, they're trying to actually be nice to me, I get that. All that's doing is reminding me that my body isn't functioning properly, because I'm not doing anything to get skinny. I'm not doing anything to try and lose weight, yet I'm dropping weight because I am shitting constantly. And the worst one is when people go, oh, you look really skinny, and then you say, yeah, it's because I shit all the time. And they go, oh,
wish I had that.
No, you don't. No, you don't wish you had that. So that's annoying. Another one, you don't look ill. And that's the thing, because it is an invisible illness. So I know I don't look ill. If I can be bothered to get out of bed, put some slap on, brush my hair, I can make myself look pretty average. But my insides are killing me. I'm in pain. Right now I'm in pain. Of course you don't know, because I've learnt to hide that pain. If someone goes, oh, well, you don't look ill, it's just like, I don't know, sometimes it even feels like they don't really believe you. They don't really believe that you are in pain. Especially if you've just been talking about how much pain you're in, and they go, well, you don't look ill. All right. One that really annoys me, that is very much linked to IBD, is comparing it to IBS. So I'm sure for other chronic illnesses there are things that get compared, but obviously I don't have a different illness, so I wouldn't know. But I know a lot of the time when I'm talking about having Crohn's, someone brings up their IBS, or they bring up someone else who's got IBS even. They're like, oh yeah, my friend's got IBS. I'm like, okay. They're different things. They are completely different things. Completely different. So there's no relevance at all. It's like me going, oh, I bought a motorbike, and you going, my friend's got a push bike. Okay. Which leads me on nicely to my next point of someone saying, oh yeah, I know how that feels, or yeah, I feel the same, or something along those lines, if they haven't got the illness that you've got, or they actually don't have any understanding. Again, I'm going to be talking about experience specific to Crohn's, but this would be the same with any other chronic illness. The one that is the most irritating for me is when I say that I'm tired. Partly that is my fault, because when I say I'm tired, I actually mean I am fatigued, I'm exhausted. And until you have experienced that kind of fatigue, you won't understand it. And it isn't just that you're tired and you can take a nap and you'll feel better tomorrow. Fatigue is horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So if you haven't experienced that, when I say I'm tired and you go, yeah, me too, you're not the same level of tired as me. And I don't mean that in a rude way at all, because your tiredness is really important as well, and you need to get a nap too. But it is different. It is just different. Another one, someone's actually asked me, how are you? And I said, oh, my stomach's sore. And they're like, oh yeah, mine's sore as well. I had a curry last night. And like, I get it as well, because you're trying to find like common ground and stuff, and as humans that's what we do. We try and find like things that are in common so we can have something to talk about. But you eating a dodgy curry is really not the same as my insides being inflamed, pussy and bleeding. It's really, really not the same, I promise you. I've had dodgy curries before and it's just not the same. Something else you really shouldn't say is, at least you're not at work. Because I cannot tell you how much, when I was signed off work, I cannot tell you how much I wanted to be in work. And I know that sounds a bit sad. I desperately wanted to be in work. I desperately wanted to feel healthy enough to go to work and do my job. And I couldn't. I physically couldn't. And it really, really annoyed me. So when people go, well, at least you're not at work. Well, actually, no, that's where I would want to be. And I really hope with lockdown and quarantine, people kind of understand that a bit more, because when you are at home, stuck at home, it's different. It's not you're staying at home through choice, you're stuck at home, especially if you're stuck at home because you are ill. It's not like you're having a jolly, you're stuck at home because you are ill. So most of us, if not all of us, who are having to be signed off of work at some point, I can assure you we would much rather be at work. So I'm quite lucky, this has actually never been said to me, but it has definitely been implied before. And that is, it's all in your head. So with many chronic illnesses, they are an invisible illness. And like I say, you can't tell that I'm sick. The whole, you don't look sick. I don't look sick, so you don't know. If you could see the pain, you wouldn't tell someone it was all in their head. Like I say, it's never been said to me in so many words, but it's definitely been implied. I used to have to take an injection every 2 weeks, and I would always start to feel a little bit worse leading up to the injection. And someone did say to me, do you not just think that's because you know you need your injection? As in, you don't actually feel more in pain, it's because you haven't had like your next fix. I honestly wouldn't make up this pain. If I could not think about it and it would not be here, that would be fantastic. But I am genuinely in pain all the time. So yeah, it's definitely not in my head. And something that has been said to me before is, you used to be so much more fun. Yep. And yeah, maybe I did used to be more fun. Maybe I did. You just can't say that to someone. That'd be like me saying, you used to be more attractive. Or you used to be fitter. You used to be smarter. You used to be more fun. And I genuinely think I am actually more fun now when I can be. I can't be that fun all the time because, you know, chronically ill. But when I'm having a good day, I take full advantage of that. Whereas before, I didn't think I wouldn't have good days. So I didn't really take advantage of the days when I could, if that makes sense. So I actually think I'm more fun now, because when you get me, and you get me at a point where I can have fun, you better believe I'm going to be having some fun. And last but not least, get well soon. It's a chronic illness. We don't get better. Again, obviously I know people are saying it from a good place. When someone says that, it's kind of just a reminder of you're actually not going to get well soon. I mean, you'll get better. You'll definitely get better. But you're not going to be fully well. Or even if you are fully well, it's kind of always tainted with the view of you might be sick again soon. So, I don't know, get well soon just grinds my gears. So I'd just like to say, if you are one of those people that have said one of those things to me, I'm not offended by it. I know that typically they are coming from a very, very good place. I just thought this would be quite a funny video to film, and I know some other people will relate to this. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're someone who has a chronic illness, what is something you don't like people saying to you? And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. And last but not least, oh my god, I've got pins and needles.